I am reading Exodus 7 of the Holy Bible. This is my very first time reading it. I am Mountainsmith, and I just give my honest thoughts and reactions as I read whatever comes to mind. So I'm going to get right into it here. Exodus 7 says, Aaron's staff becomes a serpent. Ooh, well, this should be kind of fun here. Because, now, if you've never read the Holy Bible, this is very all new to me. God had showed Moses how to do a number of tricks and took Moses' staff and turned it into a serpent, so that way Moses could convince the people that it was God that was sending Moses. And Moses has been arguing with God the entire time, such as, let's say here, at the very end of 6, he even says, I can't do it. I'm such a clumsy speaker. Why should Pharaoh listen to me? Because God, Moses is already arguing with God about why the Pharaoh should even listen to him. Previously, Moses had argued with God about why should the people believe in Moses. So let's get right into it here. So Aaron's staff becomes a serpent, and Aaron is a brother to Moses. Something I didn't know at all. So Moses had a brother. Then the Lord said to Moses, pay close attention to this. I will make you seem like God to Pharaoh. Oh, and your brother, Aaron. Wow, that's... Could you imagine that for a moment? You are Moses. You're already arguing. You're like, nah, who's going to believe me? Pharaoh, the people, nobody's going to believe me. And now God is saying, I'm going to make you seem like God to Pharaoh. That's going to be his way. Why should the Pharaoh listen to me? God's telling Moses right here. Then the Lord said to Moses, pay close attention to this. I will make you seem like God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron will be your prophet. Oh, that's a little hierarchy there already. Tell Aaron everything I command you, and Aaron must command Pharaoh to let the people of Israel leave his country. But I will make Pharaoh's heart stubborn so I can multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. God is going to make the Pharaoh's heart stubborn, I guess even more so. See, this is what I come back to previously, is why is God intervening so much with hardening and making the Pharaoh stubborn that he's taking away the Pharaoh's free will? Maybe the Pharaoh really would just naturally let all these people go back to Israel, leave, and maybe if Moses came into him and said and showed him these miraculous things that God is wanting Moses to show him, then maybe the Pharaoh really would just say, hey, screw it, you know what? I'm good to go. Go for it. I'm done. I don't want to play any more games. But it seems like God is consistently intervening, taking away the Pharaoh's free will. And that's what's happening again right here. But I will make Pharaoh's heart stubborn so I can multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. Seems a little egotistical, don't you think? I mean, maybe there's something else going on there. I said that last time. It just seems like God here is wanting to multiply his miraculous signs and the wonders in the land of Egypt, just so he can prove it to the Pharaoh. I wonder why. Even then, Pharaoh will refuse to listen to you, so I will bring down my fist on Egypt. Then I will recuse my forces, my people, the Israelites, from the land of Egypt with great acts of judgment. When? Raise my powerful hand and bring out the Israelites. The Egyptians will know that I am the Lord. It sounds like God is really telling Moses what the entire plan is going to be. No matter what, that's what it's going to be. So, could there be a better plan instead of hardening the Pharaoh's heart? If God is also saying here, even then the Pharaoh will refuse to listen to you. Well, sure, because you're making him stubborn and you're forcing the Pharaoh not to do something. You're taking away that will. I just wonder, why is this larger plan in motion? Why is God making this a larger plan so that he can show the Israelites the way out? I mean, it seems like there could be other ways to make that happen. But I'm not going to go too much into it. We just want to read here. Okay. So Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord had commanded them. Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83. What, really? Moses was 80 years old and Aaron was 83 when they made their demands to Pharaoh. Oh, so Aaron was a little bit older. For some reason, I didn't realize that. Okay. Wait, is this a natural brother to Moses? Or I missed that somewhere. Aaron is the brother to Moses. Okay, but Moses he was cast out into a river when he was born, and then the Pharaoh's stepdaughter or something like that, I forget, picked him up, raised him. So is Aaron actually Moses' real brother? I read that somewhere, and now I just totally don't remember what it is. Okay. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, Pharaoh will demand, show me a miracle. When he does this, say to Aaron, take your staff and throw it down in front of the Pharaoh, and it will become a serpent. Ooh. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and did what the Lord had commanded them. Aaron threw down his staff before Pharaoh and his officials, and it became a serpent. Whew. Could you imagine that? You're like standing there, you're like, look at this guy. What's going on? Whoa, a serpent. Then Pharaoh called in his own wise men and sorcerers, and the Egyptian magicians did the same thing with their magic. Nice trick, kid. Or you guys are old also. I wonder how old the Pharaoh actually is. But he's like, hey, nice trick. You know what, you guys, go ahead and do it also, just so we can prove to these guys. They threw down their staffs, which also became serpents. But then Aaron's staff swallowed up their staffs. Pharaoh's heart, however, remained hard. He refused to listen, just as the Lord had predicted. Ooh. That is quite a thing. So the Pharaoh's like, come on, magicians, show them what you got. And then all of a sudden, Aaron's staff just eats them all up. That would be a little bit scary, actually. All right. A plague of blood. Oh, that sounds terrible. Does this mean we're murdering a lot of people, or what's going on here? Okay. Then the Lord said to Moses, Pharaoh's heart is stubborn, and he still refuses to let the people go. So go to Pharaoh in the morning, and he goes down to the river. What? So go to Pharaoh in the morning as he goes down to the river. Oh, I missed an as. I feel like I'm a little bit clumsy speaker, just like Moses is supposed to be. Stand on the bank of the Nile and meet him there. Be sure to take along the staff that turned into a snake. Then announce to him, the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, has sent me to tell you, let my people go so they can worship me in the wilderness. Until now you have refused to listen to him. So this is what the Lord says. I will show you that I am the Lord. Look, I will strike the water of the Nile with this staff in my hand, and the river will turn to blood. The fish in it will die, and the river will stink. The Egyptians will not be able to drink any water from the Nile. Oh, well, that sucks. Imagine. Okay, so this is, if it doesn't happen, a lot of innocent people are going to end up not having any fish or water to drink. Then the Lord said to Moses, tell Aaron, take your staff and raise your hand over the waters of Egypt, all its rivers, canals, ponds, and all the reservoirs. Turn all the water to blood. Oh my gosh. Everywhere in Egypt, the water will turn to blood, even the water stored in wooden bowls and stone pots. Oh, geez. So Moses and Aaron did just as the Lord commanded them. As Pharaoh and all his officials watched, Aaron raised his staff and struck the water of the Nile. Suddenly, the whole river turned to blood. The fish in the river died, and the water became so foul that the Egyptians couldn't drink it. There was blood everywhere throughout the land of Egypt. But again, the magicians of Egypt used their magic, and they too turned water into blood. So Pharaoh's heart remained hard. How long? So if Aaron took the staff and he did that, and everything turned to blood, and they couldn't do anything. The fish died, the water turned to blood, it stinks, no one could drink it. All the water in Egypt has now turned to blood. How long did it stay turned into blood before it turned back into water? Because, as it says here, the Pharaoh's magicians then came and they did the same thing with the water. So if it was all blood, when did it come back to water so that the magicians could turn it back into blood? I'm wondering how long. But again, the magicians of Egypt used their magic, and they too turned water into blood. So Pharaoh's heart remained hard. He refused to listen to Moses and Aaron, just as the Lord had predicted. He didn't predict it. He literally says, Aaron must command, but I will make Pharaoh's heart stubborn so I can multiply my miraculous signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. Yeah, he refused to listen to Moses and Aaron just as the Lord had predicted. He didn't predict anything. Pharaoh returned to his palace and put the whole thing out of his mind. Then all the Egyptians dug along the riverbank to find drinking water, for they could drink the water from the Nile. 7 days passed from the time the Lord struck the Nile. Really? Wait, I'm going to back up here. Then all the Egyptians dug along the riverbank to find drinking water, for they could drink the water from the Nile. 7 days passed from the time the Lord struck the Nile. 7 days from the time basically Aaron struck it, and they were able to dig up water on the side. But I have a definitely big question here, because Aaron he refused to listen to Moses as Aaron, just as the Lord had predicted. Well, Pharaoh's heart remained hard because God intervened. It wasn't because he predicted it at all. That was not what he did. And he actually says that earlier in earlier Exodus, that he's going to make Pharaoh's heart hard. Some questions here of the plan and really why it's focused so much about that. And, Moses and Aaron, they're just going along with the plan. They're like, hey, God, you're telling me to do this. We are committed to do it no matter what. We're not arguing. The Pharaoh is probably going to come back on us. We're going to fight. I can't imagine all the other, I can't imagine the Egyptian sorcerers, the Pharaoh, his officers, everybody there is like, yeah, so what? Moses, Aaron, are they getting laughed at? They've got to be getting laughed at. So but they're continuing. They're doing what God has commanded them to do. And that is their duty.